What? You thought we were done with the trade talk today? Little did you know. How you doing, Mets fans? We're back at it with another video. This is our third on the day, and we're going to have 4 pieces of content. I don't know if this video is going to come out after the post-game coverage or before. All I know is there's a lot happening in a very short period of time. The Mets went from making some key bullpen moves that we broke down earlier today to then acquiring a reliever in Ryan Stanek that we just did a video on. Check that out if you haven't already. Everything to know about the flame-throwing right-hander. Now we enter the latest reports I actually discussed in that previous video as it was broken live from Mike Puma at the time, which is the following. Yes, the Mets are involved in the left-handed bat outfielder market, and they have spoken to, yes, Scooter Michael Conforto. Are you actually telling me there's a chance that Michael Conforto, Scooter, who was my favorite player during his time with the Mets? Yes, I know my favorite player was not the best player on the Mets. We got the signed jersey here. Shout out to Grant. If you know, you know. Thank you so much for hooking me up for this a while ago. However, Michael Conforto connected to the Mets. Are we going to finally see a reunion with Mike as a left-handed option that is immediately upgraded, one could argue, over DJ Stewart? Well, because of that sentence alone, that is in fact why it is a possibility. So let's break it down now, everybody. I want to know your initial reactions in the comments down below to the news about Mr. Michael Conforto being connected to the Mets here, because we're going to break down his numbers. I'm going to tell you what I like about the prospect of acquiring Michael Conforto and the reunion, and what I don't like about it, because even though I am a big Michael Conforto fan, I am not opposed to going elsewhere to add a bat at the deadline. I don't think that he's the end-all be-all by any stretch, but I'm not opposed to him either landing back in Queens either. So let's break it all down now, folks. But before I do, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, as it is the easiest and best way to support the channel. Thank you all so much in advance. While also thank you all so much in advance for hearing from today's video sponsor, America's #1 sportsbook, BetUS. Because in case you guys and gals don't know BetUS, you better know now, because you have a chance to get a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits by simply clicking that link down below in the description. Thank you all so much in advance for doing so. And as we take a look at the MLB slate of games for this Saturday's matchup, there are 2 games that stand out right away for me that I'm going to do a 2-leg parlay with. Should you do that, again, make sure you guys bet responsibly. Should you tail, again, good luck to you all. We got the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cleveland Guardians. Phillies are home. They haven't been playing great baseball as of late. However, what the Phillies have done are matching up now against former Met Carlos Carrasco in that pitching matchup. So that's why I certainly like that potential for the Mets to win, along with an obvious one, the Seattle Mariners over the Chicago White Sox. And this is going to, again, be a 2-leg parlay. We're going to put 10 for each. 10 is going to win around 650 in one, 680 in the other. 10 total is going to win you 1778. So hopefully those 2 teams win outright tomorrow. Not that I want to see the Phillies win, but if they're going to win, at least win some money along with it, right? But make sure you do it responsibly with our amazing friends here at BetUS. But now let's hop back into this one, everybody. I want to see your initial reactions continued about the Michael Conforto connection here, because I got a lot to say about Mike, but let me start by saying no. To anyone that thinks that the Mets acquiring Michael Conforto should be expecting the exact production from Michael Conforto during his time in Queens, I got a bridge to sell you. That likely isn't going to happen. Michael Conforto is not the peak player that he was a couple years ago, especially when we look back at 2018, 2019, Juice Baseball still, 2020 shortened season when him and Dom Smith were like MVP caliber players those years for the Mets. Things have definitely changed quite a bit since then, with Conforto's departure with the Mets, with the shoulder injury out for a year, second year with the Giants right now. Big swing and miss for sure, and definitely a guy that you need to be smart with how you utilize him in platoon situations. But Conforto isn't going to be costly. You know, he's got at least 1 more year left on his contract. So again, he's not going to cost you all that much to acquire. And while there aren't a boatload of huge premium bats available at the trade deadline, especially after a guy like Randy Arozarena was just traded the Mariners, you know, even with the market being the way it is, I don't foresee a world where if the Mets acquire a Michael Conforto, it's going to cost them these endless prospects. I don't think it is. And with the way the Mets are rolling right now, they absolutely want to bolster their lineup. And Michael Conforto immediately gives you an upgrade over DJ Stewart. Because yes, does DJ provide an on-base percentage that is strong? Of course. Does DJ provide solid defense for you? No. Does DJ provide, you know, consistency with his at-bats? Really? No, he doesn't when it comes to production. And while offensive production isn't necessarily what the Mets are in dire need of right now, it's been on the reliever front. What they are certainly trying to do, led by David Stearns, is to make this team as best as they can without giving up the entire farm, especially for rental assets, and say, i.e. a Michael Conforto, which again isn't going to happen. But just to reiterate, yes, the Mets, if they land Michael, they're not going to be giving up an entire arm and a leg for him. Farthest thing from the truth. And as we take a look at the savant numbers here that we have for Michael Conforto, let me pull them up in just 1 second, everybody. Let me see if I can get them up here. If not, no worries, and we're just going to continue on Actually, I think I can, and I think I will. There we go. Michael Conforto's baseball savant numbers this season. Mind you, Conforto on the year right now currently has himself a 226 average, a 298 on base percentage, and a 415 slug, a 103 WRC plus, which means he's 3% better than the average batter in baseball this year. 10 home runs, 29 RBIs, 40 RBIs on the season, 29 runs scored, no stolen bags, a .6 WAR on the year, hasn't been great offensively or defensively for the San Francisco Giants, but mind you, he's playing in San Fran out this season, when it's a very hard park to hit the ball out of if you're not named Barry Bonds or Jorge Soler, just to name a few. And when we look at the overall production here for Michael Conforto, again, I preface to not emphasize as much as to, okay, the OBP is fairly low, the average. What is the appeal here? The appeal here is that you have a reunion with a platoon option that is absolutely an upgrade over what your current options are right now. To have Michael Conforto in the fold that you can use based on matchups coming off the bench would be brilliant for this Mets team. And what does Conforto provide for you that DJ doesn't? Is competent defense. Mike can handle right field plenty. He did it for how long during his time in Queens? And then we have to add in the element that we're clearly disregarding for a second. If you are, you better not now. And that is the obvious, the return of a Michael Conforto. The emotions it would have, not only for the fan base, but for Michael himself. It would completely change, I think, the path of Michael this season to go from a depleted Giants team that isn't going anywhere this year at this current rate. That's why they're going to probably be selling more than buying right now. And then you look at the Mets here on a roll right now to get back in a playoff race in Queens Electric, a better environment than he's probably ever had during his time with the Mets outside of his amazing playoff heroics that we know. I mean, it wasn't all that long ago, even though I can't believe it actually is, when Michael, going all the way back to 2015 World Series. It's insane how long ago that actually was right now that I think about it. Roughly a decade now, but Mike still has a flair for the dramatic. He still has pop in his bat. He knows Citi Field better than pretty much any other opposing batter in baseball right now, and that right field is pulled in a little bit. And Michael, as we know, while I love him and that beautiful swing, the best in baseball when it is right, going opposite field, Michael also does like to pull the ball plenty, and when he does, that right field is a little bit in, gives him a greater chance to do that. With uncertainty to Starling Marte and how much you're going to get out of him for the remainder of the season heading into potential postseason play, with Tyrone Taylor being great, but definitely Jekyll and Hyde in his production. Harrison Bader just banged up day-to-day right now. DJ Stewart is your next outfield option outside of Jeff McNeil, and it appears that the Mets really want to be smart about this and give Jeff continued playing time. However, do not want to have it where he is absolutely always in the outfield. They want to make sure that they can be creative, along with Jose Iglesias too, at second and third base later in games for Mark Vientos, among others. So it's all about configuration and right team fit. Who knows how to perform in New York? Who knows what it's like to handle a Mets fan base that's going against them as hard as Mets fans have? It's Michael Conforto. So again, is he the sexiest name? No. Is he the flashiest name? No. Is he the best option out there? No. I would take Jesse Winker every single day of the week over Michael Conforto, and I truly hope the Mets still do that. However, if a Winker trade can't happen because it's in the division with the Nationals and Mike Rizzo, the schmuck that he is, if you know, you know, or if it's going to be because, there just aren't a lot of great options out there, you can get Michael Conforto at an affordable price for a chance for him to give you a flair of the dramatic, feed off a Citi Field, the environment, and then to add the cherry on top, it's Michael Conforto. He has so many great memories with the Mets and emotions, and he's still a guy that can provide solid baseball at this point in his career. He's not completely washed up. No, he's not benefiting anymore because he doesn't have the juice baseballs on his side, but he is still a guy that does make plenty sense for this Mets team for a platoon option, not even necessarily playing every day. I'm not even saying that I want to see Mike in the lineup every single day. If you're going to acquire him, just make sure it's for the reason that you're making this team as deep as you possibly can. I think the Mets have a greater chance to do that if they land Michael Conforto versus the current options and a DJ Stewart. And to furthermore look at the numbers here, Michael Conforto, his final season with the Mets in 2021, we saw 14 home runs, 55 RBIs in 125 games, a 232, 344, 384 clip for a 104 WRC plus. Michael has essentially been the same player. Not much has changed over the past couple of years. He's struggled to hit for contact. On base percentage has definitely wavered and has struggled over the past couple of years that we have seen. However, the slugging is higher than it's been since going all the way back to the 2020 season. So the power implementation is certainly there. More with Michael Conforto that we're seeing this year with an over 400 slug at the moment. And again, just a guy that can play the outfield for you, handle right field better than most, and a guy that is not only going to bode well with Mets fans, but knows exactly what his role is. This is not a Michael Conforto that would be coming in that we expect him to essentially be our saving grace, the way that Mets fans put a lot of pressure on Michael to be that go-to guy when he was one of the leaders of the pack on the offensive end years ago. Right now, Michael would just be be a nice platoon fit and a guy that certainly is an upgrade over some current options the Mets currently find themselves having. So Mets fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How do you feel about a potential Michael Conforto Scooter reunion? I think it's without saying just how I feel about Michael Conforto, and yes, I would love this man back with the Metsies as soon as humanly possible. And yes, I know that he's far from the best option out there per se. Doesn't change the fact that I would certainly welcome the fit given everything that I just explained to you over the past 10 minutes. So that'll do it for me, your guy Wardy. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in our post-game coverage if we didn't do that already, and our continued coverage on trades, news, rumors, everything in between here on WardyNYM. Thank you guys again. Let's go Mets, baby. Peace out.